Good day, people. Today I'm going to basically kind of explain what my offer is for this and how you're gonna fucking become rich because I'm Himothy. Basically, I'm just gonna make you rich. Anyway, very simple. It's full screen of this shit. So I'm gonna go over how my X system works. Obviously you've seen me going viral. Basically, we don't work. We run the Twitter accounts of basically the entirety of Twitter. Countless others effectively are copying this identical system and trying to give you a watered down version of it that doesn't work. So effectively, what you're about to see is the system that makes you viral on Twitter. You can apply this to any type of account, basically in any niche with a few variations, right? Like, you're not going to post the same content for an e-com account as for like an agency account. That's very basic, and that's you can figure that, guys. You can figure that out. You guys are smart. Anyway, so I'm going to go over an exact example of a client that basically had a really good result with us, and I'm going to explain how it can be applied to you. And anyone can copy this. I'm not even really going to pitch, but anyway, basically this guy was like, he had an inbound problem. So he was doing a lot of cold emails, he was doing ads, he was doing a lot of shit, but he wasn't really running his Twitter at all. Now, why I like Twitter is because it's a really cheap acquisition source for per dollar. Like you can get even like a shit ghostwriter for like $1,000 a month, and he'll do, if he's okay, which to be honest most aren't, he'll make you some money. So he started with 20 followers, basically no one. He was getting like no likes per post. 5 likes is kind of an overstatement. I think one post got 5 likes. The other ones weren't even just getting likes. Obviously no inbounds from that. And he was basically posting GPT garbage that nobody was reading. So effectively, he didn't really have a brand. He didn't really have aura. Nobody gave a fuck who he was. But after about 2 months, we got him to 17 million impressions, which is a fucking exceptional result. Now, I'm going to explain how we did that and how you can do that for your own account. Total results, this is over 6 months. It's quite a lot. Now, obviously, depends on how good you are. When you run at this type of numbers, your like booking percentages are going to be less. Like, out of 1,800 DMs, he closed 94. A lot of those are kind of just like bullshit DMs, but that's how you get a lot of the good clients, is you basically get a lot of shit DMs too. So effectively, it took no time from him because for the first couple of months, we just worked with him. Like, he had to read the tweets, how horrible. He had to read some tweets. He had to approve them. So it wasn't really too much effort for the amount of results he got back. And, 180 qualified calls. This was not the same client, but, he signed a client with basically a lawn form, very simple. Another lawn form, I think this one was a thread, did 1 million. I think at 1 million, it had like 25 or 30,000 likes. But basically, again, everyone's tired of doing fucking LinkedIn bullshit. So here's the content system that we implemented for him that made him viral. Effectively, you have to post content that's different. Everyone on Twitter, all these goons you see, they're posting content that's literally one-to-one identical. Like you could get it from an account and you can post it across 10 other accounts and it would work because they all sound the same. What we did is we made his account stand out. Post original content with an original tone, original voice, original wording that was original to his actual system. It was very simple. So that's basically the main part. Now, the harder part in that is like short form versus long form. Have a mix of short form to actually just drive basic top funnel engagement, long form to actually convert clients and provide value, giveaways to go viral. There's so much shit, to be honest. Like, I could go over this for hours, but effectively, he was closing deals. He was with inbound DMs, with lead magnets, short form, long form. But here's basically what we did in a few words, so you can kind of replicate it. I can't give you everything, obviously, because everything has to be adapted per client, per niche, whatever. So the first thing we did is we stopped posting like basic ass helpful content, right? So a lot of these guys are posting, 5 tips to do this, here's how I did this, blah, blah, blah. And what we did is we made them a lot more badass. So we made people uncomfortable. We had hot takes, disagreements, that type of stuff. We called out BS, like, that only paid ads work for an e-com client, or meta ads are the best, right? Provide a contrast, like Google ads are better, etc. And of course, we combine that with like screenshots of their shit. So it's very simple. Second thing we did, apart from the actual content, is actually rework their physical appearance. A lot of people have these like really, really shitty profile pictures where it's like a face and then like a color behind them. The bio says, help 25 clients do XYZ. Now, if you've seen my own shit, you know that I don't believe that. Mine is literally, I import Russian baddies for your business and make people viral. Very simple what I do. Aura, my profile picture is me in a fucking airport. My background is me in a Louis V shirt and some mountains. It's pretty badass. In fact, that's what we did. So again, like I said, helping business grow through innovation, marketing strategies, 10 years experience. Nobody cares about that. what we did is make it good. So I'm pretty sure in this case we said something like made for this client. This was an ecom client. Made 10 million in ecom, helping you do the same. He had a different product, helping you do the same. It was something like that. So obviously I can show you, like I'll prop up an example on screen of something that's like badass and aura, and that's basically what we did. But that's simple. You can fucking steal that yourself. So the other thing that I don't like is when people say, bro, you got to make content that converts, or bro, you got to make content that goes viral. So both of you are wrong. Both of those people are wrong because you can do both. So yeah, at worst, right, I've had tweets for clients that got like 5K likes that are completely zero related to their offer that have still booked them like 20 calls. That's not a lot, right? And I've also had tweets with like 100 likes that have booked 20 calls. I mean, you get the same end result, right? But I've also had tweets with 2,000 likes that have booked 200 calls. So you want to do both. So you want to do that consistently. You can have top of funnel shorts, you can have really, really in-depth long forms, and you can have in the middle that does both. This is what people don't understand. This is kind of like the secret sauce, and I can't even believe that I'm giving it away. But viral content basically doesn't usually convert. And converting content doesn't go viral. So it's very simple. You got to do both. Apart from inbounds, you got to do DMs, right? So having a good Twitter presence is like a business card. When people search you up, when people run DMs, when you DM someone, they check, okay, who the fuck is this guy? Oh shit, he has 8K followers. Oh shit, he's handsome. Oh shit, he's tall. Oh shit, he has a bunch of baddies. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. But that's basically what they check. So when they see someone with a good account, with consistently viral tweets, they're more likely to hear them out. So we run also a giveaway like a DM strategy, where it's basically giveaways into DMs and then the prospect can close them. Or I have a guy that actually runs cold DMs from their account. So very simple. Again, it just converts better because their account actually has good shit on it. Now, why does this actually work? At the end of the day, this is basically human biology. This is psychology. People want to buy from. People want to get what they don't have. They want to trust people. They want to buy from an actual authority, not a brokey. And too much smoking. But basically, they want to buy from someone that's actually going to, do them right. And the best part is when you have this type of shit happen without actually needing sales. It's just fucking amazing. I remember the first time I signed my client without actually having to sell. It was fucking amazing. So the exact numbers for that client was a 234,000 revenue increase. I don't know how much profit that translated into. I never asked what their margins are, but if we're talking about just revenue, that's a really high ROI of 2,400. In terms of profit, it's probably going to be a bit lower. So, only like a 1,500 return on investment, right? So bad. I have a few common objections for you people. So, industry is different. No, we've blown up info products, e-com accounts, agency accounts, personal brands, YouTube accounts, fucking OFM accounts. Everything works. I can't write. Yeah, you don't need to. I don't have time. That's why we handle it, for example. Or you can hire any other ghostwriter to handle it. The main thing I want to do is not even like provide myself as a solution. I want people to start understanding how important Twitter is, right? And this is actually something that happened this last one, or if I get too many calls. We actually had a guy who effectively had his calendar blocked out for like 35 days because of it. It was honestly the funniest thing ever. He was like, bro, I don't want to get on these calls. So I also sold him a baddie to hop on calls with him. That really motivated him. So that's pretty fun. So effectively, these are your two options with Twitter. Basically, you're going to keep doing what you're doing. You're going to burn money. You're going to stay poor, or you're going to run Twitter. Again, I don't care if you run it with me. I don't care if you run it with some other idiot. I don't care if you run it even with a female ghostwriter. Female ghostwriter. I don't care who you run it with, as long as you fucking do it. I want people to actually start running on Twitter. Of course, if you want me, the original, the guy who's gotten literally millions of views, probably $1 million total. No, definitely not over $1 million. That one client had $1 million. So like $3 to $4 million of revenue from Twitter generated. The guy who everyone copies on Twitter, the guy who everyone fucking looks up to. If you want me to handle your shit, of course I'll figure it out. I'll give you a good discount if you watch this video. I'll give you like a $5 discount. So that's basically it. If you want to run an empire, run an empire. If you don't fucking listen to me. Of course, you know more than me, definitely 100%. All right, peace, buddy.